We're reading every Spider-Man ever, and this is Captain Action and Action Boy issue 1. It's Jimmy's birthday, and he's getting the toy that he's been asking for, Captain Action, with all of the costumes and accessories. Included in the box is a Videomatic ring, and Jimmy just has to turn his finger and Captain Action will become a superhero. And so he does, and then he falls asleep. Captain Action is sitting in his base when he sees a mysterious mist approach. If only he had some way to get above it, to see the cause. Lucky for him, he has the power pack, sold separately, and he flies up to see the cause is rockets. The rockets are being fired by enemies, using the mist to disguise their attack, and Captain Action uses his jet mortar, sold separately, to surprise them. Then he uses his directional communicator, sold separately, to warn Earth of the invasion. Before help can arrive, Captain Action decides that the best way to scare away these invaders is by making it look like they're up against multiple heroes. They've seen Captain Action, but they haven't seen Batman, sold separately. As Batman, he swings onto a rocket, opens it up and puts it out of business. Then, as Buck Rogers, sold separately, he uses a solar gun, and as Flash Gordon, sold separately, he uses a ray pistol and he takes out more of the rockets. But he's suddenly and magnetically pulled from his base and up into the sky. Luckily, he has a working parachute, sold separately, to save him, and then he thinks it's time for the invaders to meet another superhero, Superman, sold separately. But while he's halted some of the attack, Captain Action needs help to beat back the full invasion. Back on Earth, Captain Action arms a bunch of men with his weapons arsenal, sold separately, and with a survival kit, sold separately. And then he becomes Captain America, sold separately, to take the fight to the aliens on the land. And then he becomes Steve Canyon, sold separately, to take the fight to the aliens in the air. And then he becomes Aquaman, sold separately, to take the fight to the aliens at sea. And then he's the Green Hornet, sold separately, and he shoots some aliens. And then he's the Phantom, sold separately, and he kicks the aliens out of their tank. And then he's the Lone Ranger, sold separately, to fight them some more. And then he's Tonto, sold separately, to also shoot them. And then he's Spider-Man, sold separately, webbing the aliens up. But he's not the only costume-changing hero on the scene, as Action Boy enters the fight. He turns into Superboy, sold separately, and throws a lion at the aliens, and then Robin, sold separately, to kick them, and then Aqualad, sold separately, to just tip them out of a rowboat. And I guess the rowboat did it because all of the aliens flee back into space, and Jimmy wakes up. It was all a dream. But the good news is that with just his imagination and his 2 action figures and all those many additional sets, he can make that dream into a reality. He just needs to buy Captain Action. Thanks for watching. Like the video if you want other people to see it, or hit subscribe and hit that bell if you want to see the next videos that come. And they come every Thursday. And while we wait for that next issue, here's a fun fact about this one. Despite the fact that the company discontinued in 1968, the Captain Action brand continues to make revivals through the years and has featured in more comics, as well as card games and novels.